everybody, I'm meteorologist Candace Campos. Thank you for joining us on News 6 Plus.
And I'm meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. We are talking all about the chill.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be really cold.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and you're from up north, and you're even getting excited about how cold we actually could get.
Yeah, this is a big one. I mean, we were talking about years, potentially, all this big-time cold front that's going to blast in here as we get into ready to start the weekend.
I mean, and when we talk about where this cold air is kind of originating from, it's kind of an interesting story.
Yeah.
So let's start.
We're going to show you.
Let's get to the models first, kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So we have this area of low pressure, trailing cold front, pretty typical story, but it's going to clear and bring us a whole lot of cold air, Jonathan.
Yes, you're going to hear the headlines in the Northeast, at least potentially likely making the headlines here of a big-time blizzard right along the East Coast getting up into New England. This is the same system, though, that's going to dislodge the air literally from the Arctic Circle. We're going to show you that in a second, and pull it down to the eastern two-thirds of the country. So it's not just Florida that's going to be in the chill. It's literally everybody on the eastern two-thirds of the country. Really one of the only places you can escape it, the desert Southwest. This is the big blast of cold.
It's really going to be like a seesaw in temperatures across the country. And we were talking about it throughout some of the newscasts last few days as folks in the Northeast are kind of freaking out about this blizzard a little bit. I mean, they're packing the bread and the milk, and you know, you're from there, so you get what it is. But for us here in Central Florida, we're going to have to do a couple things, like maybe add a couple more layers into our wardrobe for tomorrow, for the next couple days.
And I know I've been talking to people on Facebook, and this is crazy atypical. I was talking to meteorologist Samara Kokinas, and this is, since I've lived here, this has been one of the worst weeks of weather in Florida. I mean, typically you're thinking of the beaches, you're thinking of the sunshine. It's been gray, not only cold, but cold and gray. It's rare that you get that combination in Florida, I feel like.
Yeah, I was a meteorologist in Oregon back in the day, and this is exactly what it feels like. It's almost Pacific Northwest. But the sunshine will be coming out this weekend along with those really cold, chilly temperatures. So this is the graphic we were talking about, the origin story of this cold air, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. So track these parcels. This is what's called a backward trajectory model. So it's run in the future and then goes back into the past. So basically we're taking the air mass from Sunday morning.
Think of like a little box, a little cube of air.
Exactly.
Right.
And right now it's living up to the west of the Hudson Bay and really towards northern Alaska. That's where it's charging up right now. And it's all nice and it's all cozy up there.
Yeah.
And that big blizzard that we showed you that's going to get ready to go anyway, that big nor'easter that's going to ride up the coast is going to help to pull it down. We're already starting to see some of that purple color work its way into the northern tier of the country. That is what is going to blast in here as we get ready to start the weekend. Really, Saturday morning, you are going to feel that.
It's a nonstop flight from wherever it's at. From
Absolutely.
Alaska. Yeah. And so when we talk about how cold those temperatures are going to get, we're talking the coldest weather we've seen in about 4 years.
Yeah.
So 2018 was the last time we actually saw temperatures this cold.
It's crazy. I mean, we know it gets cold every now and then down here, but it's not that often that we're talking about this widespread like this. And there is another view here, that red showing where that low pressure is developing. And this is the catalyst. So why are we talking about the Northeast? Well, because this big nor'easter is going to be one of the main reasons why that we are going to get this cold.
Right.
And that's some of the cold that is coming here as you take a look at this map.
Sunday morning. So think about your weekend plans, okay? So you've got soccer practices, you've got this, you've got that. But if you have Sunday morning services, you're heading to church, just get ready, because these are the temperatures we're going to be waking up to. So the coldest time of the day, this is something I continue to reiterate with my family. It's not midnight.
Right.
That's not the coldest point of the night. It's 7 a.m., right before the sun starts to rise, when those temperatures dip. And that's what we can be seeing by Sunday morning. Look at those temperatures. We're talking 20s and 30s, not feels like temperatures.
Right, exactly. And that's a good point. This is what it will read on your thermometer. In some places might not get to 20 if the stars align, like northwest of Orlando, Marion County points north, certainly north central Florida could bottom out in the teens. The one positive thing is
people are like, wait, no.
Go back to that.
Yeah, wrong channel. But this is Central Florida weather.
It's crazy, and I pity those who are on vacation here this week.
Oh.
I mean,
they brought their swim trunks.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
It's that kind of cold.
But not only is it going to be cold,
right,
but we also have that low spitting out there. It's going to also be pumping in our winds too. So not only is it going to be chilly, it's going to be cutting through your layers of clothing with that.
Absolutely.
With that wind.
And the focus here on mainly for your impacts is going to be on Sunday morning. The wind chill is the ambient temperature. That's how you feel. It doesn't impact inanimate objects, so it's not going to impact like your car or things like that. It's going to impact how we feel. Saturday afternoon, it's going to feel like it's in the low to mid 30s all day, even with the bright sunshine out. That is what you call deceptive sunshine. But it's Sunday morning. That's what's going to be impactful to your things like you were talking about, your pets, anything outside, your plants, potentially your pipes if left not treated or not taken care of. Not wrapped.
I'm staying warm.
Right.
And this is not an art project from my 4-year-old. This modeling actually is showing the different possibilities here.
Right.
We've got frost, you've got freeze, and then you got something on top of that, which is hard freeze in the forecast.
Right, and we don't hear about that a lot. We actually verified a hard freeze last Monday morning in Ocala. We got down to 25. A hard freeze is defined as 28 degrees. Up north, that's what ends the growing season because it kills everything. Yeah, so that's why they have that hard freeze, which you'll likely see a hard freeze warning from the National Weather Service in the coming days. But in that area, in that light baby blue color there, through the 75 corridor, through Marion County, that is the best shot for that widespread hard freeze. And then you see that deep purple.
Yeah. Deep purple, light purple, frost and freeze for all of Central Florida.
Yeah.
And as a Floridian, I know when I see a freeze, and especially those temperatures, that I celebrate a good 1-day freeze because that also helps keep down the mosquito population when everything starts ramping back up.
That is true.
Because it freezes and kills off all the mosquito larvae. So if you have to just, survive Florida winter for a couple of days this weekend.
I mean, we'll take it.
Yeah, it will pay off during mosquito season, though. So don't forget. So if you're complaining about it, at least you won't be complaining about mosquitoes.
Right, you'll thank it in the summer when it starts to warm back up again.
Yeah. All right, let's look at these wake-up temperatures. So, again, we're talking about Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. This is going to be, I guess, the tale of two mornings because you have Saturday morning. It's still cold. Saturday would be a big-time weather story for us if it wasn't for what was happening Sunday morning. And this is what Jonathan was talking about. Look at your wake-up temperature. Again, 7 a.m. on Sunday. For you guys in Ocala, that's a 20-degree temperature there for us here in Central Florida.
It's crazy, and some of the guidance, some of the computer models are actually colder than 20 degrees for that. So
we're being cautious.
Yes. I mean, no matter how you slice it, no matter what it gets to, like you mentioned before, that freeze is going to be likely through all of Central Florida, maybe except right along the coast. Maybe you might be able to get out of there. Maybe if you get that wind to come off the Atlantic just a little bit. But, I mean, it's going to be cold everywhere. And then you mentioned it again, Saturday's still cold, except you have the wind on top of that cold, so the wind chills are really going to be nasty on Saturday. So Saturday you have the wind, Sunday it's just straight up cold. Yeah,
you're going to think that we were living in the Northeast the way that we are going to be reacting. Whether or not you're prepared for it or not, it's going to hit you the moment you wake up, especially when you turn on your water. That's the worst part of this cold weather is when you wake up in the morning and the water is ice cold. So again, let's jump on the bandwagon here of wind chill.
Yeah.
This is Saturday around 6 a.m. Not bad. I mean, still cold.
Absolutely.
I say not bad because just wait till you see when we advance this graphic.
Right, and you'll notice Miko still hanging tight, and it feels like temperature around 50. Saturday morning. It's going to be loud. It's going to be windy outside. This is going to be your Arctic cold front blasting right on through, so it's going to take those temperatures down. There's your warmest part of the afternoon, 3 o'clock, low to mid-30s.
Yeah, I should have stopped it there, but
yeah.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes of what this future wind chill forecast is showing us.
Now, the good news is this isn't much different for most of us than what the actual air temperature is. The wind is going to back off considerably Sunday morning.
Right.
But that's the thing. Once you start getting this cold, a little breeze of 5 to 10 miles an hour.
What's the difference?
It's going to hurt, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So maybe a couple layers, but also like a windbreaker on top of it for your Saturday. And then Sunday, it's just whatever you can, grab and put on.
For sure.
Might be. I'm thinking George Costanza from Seinfeld, where he has that big puffy jacket. My Seinfeld friends would know what
you
we're
would
talking
need that.
about. Yeah. But you can see future winds by Sunday, a little warmer, a touch warmer. Look at that. There's a 40s there. 45
the afternoon's not going to be horrible on Sunday. I mean, it'll be in the 50s. It'll be sunny. I mean, it'll be good in the sun, but still.
Yeah.
But now, just to kind of put this round of cold into perspective, it has been a while since we have seen air like this. I know we got below freezing just a few days ago in Ocala.
But that's Ocala. And if you're watching this from Ocala, that's no disrespect on you, but you guys dip below freezing much more often compared to areas like you guys in Leesburg. or Sanford, Orlando, or Daytona Beach.
Right.
Look at this breakdown here. I know there's a lot of numbers on here. I tried to clean up this graphic, but when you're playing with 1,400 days here, there's no nice way of putting it. But look at you guys in Sanford and Orlando. This is the longest streak where we've seen temperatures above 32 degrees.
Yeah.
On average, we should get a day or so of 32-degree weather maybe once a year, but that has not been the case. We are going on 4 years for Leesburg, Sanford, Orlando, and Daytona Beach. The last time we've seen freezing temperatures was January of 2018, which, by the way, Jonathan was here visiting his girlfriend at the time.
Right. Well, and that's a crazy thing. I came in from Virginia. It was cold up there, ready to warm up, and it's like, all right, that one of those blasts that made it down the peninsula. So yeah, it's been that long, and we're gonna feel like that again.
Yeah. By the way, soon to be wife.
Soon to be wife.
In a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The one spot though that has a smaller stretch, but still, mentionable here is Melbourne. The last freezing temperature there was February of last year in Melbourne, topping about 357 days. So if we actually hit that 32-degree mark, which is very likely, it will be a 4-day smash there on that record.
Yeah. It's going to be great. I mean, it's going to be cold, and it's that impactful stuff. And again, the stuff that you need to pay attention to.
Right.
People make fun of Floridians all the time for, okay, when it gets below 70, we're in the Ugg boots and all that stuff. Like, no, this is the stuff you need to pay attention to make sure you're protecting your plants and protecting your pipes. You call it the 3 Ps or protect your Ps.
Yeah, you got to protect your Ps.
Pets, yeah.
You got your people, which is an obvious. You got your pets, which we get these stories of people leaving their pets outside. And when it comes to people, I know that sounds dumb because you're like, just put on the jacket. But there's a lot of people who are going to be starting up those space heaters. They're starting up their fireplaces that they haven't started up in 4 years plus. So these are it's one of those times that you want to really start thinking about safety when it comes to how you're heating your house.
No question.
Candles, they don't release a lot of heat, so stop lighting things on fire.
Right, but people use them. You hear about it all the time.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm the wife of a firefighter. I hear those stories. So that's when we talk about protecting the people. Protecting your pets, just bring them inside. They want love too. They have fur, but it doesn't do anything.
If you're cold, they're cold, and you're going to be cold.
Yeah, they're not polar bears. No. Unless you have a pet polar bear, bring them inside.
Maybe a husky would be okay.
Maybe.
They like that stuff.
Maybe. But this is another one that obviously matters to a lot of people.
For sure.
A lot of people got plants for Christmas, pretty orchids and stuff like that. This is something you want to make sure. Water your plants if possible. Probably Saturday afternoon. What that does is the water helps absorb some of that heat down to the surface. That way, when all that heat escapes overnight, it doesn't, you have more heat built up down at the soil. It's
counterintuitive, you may think, because it's like water and freeze, like it's going to make ice, but it's, the science behind it. You just broke that down.
Science.
Yeah.
Yeah. If possible, just the easiest thing to do would be bringing them in, but I know we have a lot of plant parents.
Some of them are in the ground, and that's a problem.
Yeah, some are in the ground.
Don't go yanking them up.
Yeah, don't do that. Just cover them with, there's these frost blankets. They come about $10-15 at your local hardware store. If you want to save that money, you can maybe just do cotton sheets, bed sheets, tablecloths. Just don't put anything with plastic over it. I know it sounds weird, but a lot of people will put plastic, those plastic tablecloths or, shower curtains. That doesn't work as the plastic will freeze and then defeats the purpose.
Yeah, and so that's just, again, to reiterate what Candace said, of course, we just broke this down for you. Make sure you're covering those plants if they are sensitive, especially those tropical ones. If you have outdoor pipes, this is one especially exposed to air. Now, you need an extended period of time below freezing. A lot of us aren't going to get there. We'll just barely hit 30, 31, 32.
Right.
So your pipes are going to be okay in that scenario. Unless they're outside, you have like a hose outside, you might want to just turn that on a little bit to let it drip. Just a little drip to keep the water moving. If the water is moving, it's not going to freeze. So just keep that in mind. This is some of the safety that Candace was just talking about the space heaters. Make sure you're paying attention to how you use them. Don't fall asleep with your space heater running. And make sure you plug the space heater into a wall. Don't use an extension cord or anything like that, because a lot of times those extension cords can't handle all the power, if you will, to run that. One of the main questions we get during hurricane season, what do I do with my pool? Well, we're not talking about a hurricane, obviously, but if you have water, it was just 2 weeks ago, it was hot.
It was.
It was 80s.
It was.
And we had pool weather.
You could almost take a dip if you wanted to.
For sure. Not anymore. Make sure you have your pump continuously running, really, as you get into Saturday and Sunday.
Makes sense.
You don't need the heater But as long as that water is moving again, that's going to prevent your pool from freezing and causing any damage to any of the parts. Or
you know,
like
listen, if you guys want to make fun of Central Floridians for talking about how cold this weather is, I like to see you guys dealing with 95-degree weather up north. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're used to the extreme, but just the 90s extreme.
I guarantee you the people that are making fun of Floridians are the ones that came here to swim.
Ooh.
And can't.
No offense to people who are coming to visit.
We love visitors,
we
obviously.
We do.
But,
I mean,
it's going to be cold.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of those other things, you know. Most likely a lot of the theme parks are going to, the water parks, I mean, they close when the weather dips below 60. So pretty good idea that if you have any plans to go to the water parks this weekend, you might want to come up with different plans. But again, it is going to be a chilly, chilly weekend.
Yeah.
Coldest weather in about 4 years. Temperatures Sunday morning down into the 20s
and 30s.
And 30s.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Into
right.
the 30s.
Barely into the 30s.
Yeah. Well, thank you again so much for joining us on News 6 Plus. Make sure to stick around on the app, go around, check out some of our real special stuff that we've got specifically for our viewers of News 6 Plus. Have a great rest of your day. Stay warm, Central Florida. It's going to be chilly.